All right, so I am dead center in the process of learning how to always put myself first, really to stay in my centeredness, find my centeredness. And it's kind of like, well, I know I need to focus on myself, but like I really just want to lose weight. And that's been my life for the past year and a half, is like, I know I need to do this, but I really just want to get the weight off, like the thing is that I know from past experiences that focusing on myself, building my toolkit, putting in all of these tools of building these skills, learning new things, is the ticket to my weight loss. Every time I've lost weight, it's been me just focused on myself, not even the weight and the food. All of that stuff was not front and center in my mind. Every time I've lost weight, it's been because I've got this motivation and thirst for life, and I'm trying to learn new things. And I watched my motivational videos every single morning, and it got me ramped up, and I had this completely different energy about myself. And so I know, even though it's hard, it's hard to find that feeling place of putting myself first and stay there. It's so easy to just say, well, if I can just fix the food, if I can just fix the diet, the exercise, whatever, then I know the weight will come off. And I'm constantly in the middle right now of reminding myself how important it is just to focus on myself, which means learning new things, getting motivated, really just kind of diving into thinking about myself and what I want for my life, and going down that rabbit hole, because I know that when I do that, that's actually when I get the weight loss. And I need to get back to that feeling place of it and stay there. The best way I know how to develop myself is really just kind of picking out any problem in your life, anything that's important to you right now, and going down the rabbit hole, research, Google, all of the different things that's about mindset. Like if there's a personality trait that I want to change, I'll go through and I'll look on Google, and I'll kind of like dissect everything, and I'll kind of look for what really resonates with me and aha moments, and figure all of that stuff out. And when I get in this mode, I keep staying in this mode, it makes it so much better. It makes me have all the more tools in my toolkit. And this is the important thing. This is what I was thinking about when I was on the cardio machine. I was like, you know what? If all I focus on is getting the weight off, when I get the weight off, it's going to feel flat and empty. And it's going to be because I'm like working on all of this stuff to get the weight off, but then it's like a mountain climber at the top of the mountain with nowhere to go. It's like, okay, so you lost weight. It's kind of like, so what? Okay, like great that you lost weight and great that you're in shape, but it's kind of like, so what now? And that's why it's so important for me to it's so hard to take my eye off of that shiny red ball. I think I saw my nails. It's so hard to take my eye off of that shiny ball that I've built up so big over the years. And I have to trust and remember that that's not actually what I want. Because if I lose the weight, then what? But if I spend all of this time focusing on myself, who I want to be, and we're not perfect. So there's always something to work on. We can constantly develop ourselves and grow. And life is so short that it's kind of like a video game where it's like, you achieve all these things so that you can get this weapon or this tool or have this skill or whatever. That's like life. And if I'm not spending all of my time trying to develop this skill and that skill, and it being things that I genuinely enjoy and I'm passionate about and excited about, and it's like this thing that pulls me toward it, if my life is kind of just like, right here, but if I have all these things that, I feel drawn to and pulled towards, then all of that stuff, like once I lose the weight, I have all of these things there to work on. And not only that, but it kind of frees the space. I'll be excited once I get weight loss done, because now I have a little more mental energy for this new skill I wanted to learn, or this new skill I wanted to learn. And I think that's why every time I've lost weight, I've gained it back, because it was my one thing And I wasn't really like, it was like once I got there, okay, got it done. And it's like I lost that desire for all of the growing and all of the skills and all of this, when all of the growing and all the skills is what actually got me to lose weight. And so I stopped doing that. And it's so hard because it's easy to see that diet and exercise is what gives me weight loss and keeps it up, when in actuality it's just working on myself and growing myself and learning and all of that kind of stuff. And it's kind of funny because I think a lot of us who are on the weight loss journey, you hear a lot of self-love journeys intermingled with that. And that's the cool thing about focusing on ourselves, is once we go down the rabbit hole, and it's like, you can't love something or someone that you don't know who they are. Well, we can't love ourselves if we don't know who we are. Sometimes we spend so much time thinking about everything outside of us that we lose ourselves. We don't even know who we are. And so it's like, how exciting is that to go down the rabbit hole and, do I prefer this or that? Or, start noticing things in your day that you feel drawn to or you get excited about, and learning about ourselves and noticing things that we want to change, and we get to create and design the person that we want to be. And like, so even though this is a weight loss channel, it really is like a self-development thing, because that really is the ticket, because I do want the weight loss, and I'm so dead center in this, reminding myself to focus on myself. And I have to keep reminding myself all of these things because it's so automatic, the skill of looking externally and focusing on everything out here. And now my new skill that I'm trying to learn, and I have to keep repeating over and over and over, and it gets better and better every little bit. This guy keeps like looping around. I think he's trying to find a parking spot. But it's just about focusing on ourselves and learning about ourselves and designing ourselves. And the biggest thing for me is that I have got to build up this momentum of focusing on myself so much that it's just automatic. It's who I am. That way, when I do lose the weight, it'll be great. You're like, yay, like I finally did it. This is, the thing, my thing. It'll be great. But it's not, okay, I'm done. I have other things that keep me happy and go through, life and all of these exciting experiences that I get to have, because life is short. We don't know when it ends. And so, I want to be able to say, like, when that time comes, that I went for it, that I seized the day, that I took advantage of my time. I did the best I could with the time I had, because time goes, and it's like that video game, like, learning as many skills as we can. The further along we can get, the more of those things that we can have, the more of those external things that we can have, the car, the house, the body, whatever. Yeah, that's my big thing, is really just keeping the focus on growing and developing, because I think that has been my Achilles heel. Is it got me the weight off, and then I felt like once I got the weight off, okay, I did it, and I lost focus on growing myself and building all that stuff and focus on myself. That the weight came back, of course, because I lost focus on this. It's just so easy to see diet and exercise as our ticket to success, when the reality is it's focusing on ourselves. And I think it's probably the hardest thing to do, because it's like, we know consciously, change your diet, change your exercise, the weight comes off, or burn more calories than you eat, and the weight comes off. We know that. So it's so hard to kind of disengage from that and trust that focus on myself, focus on the growth, focus on the excitement of life is the ticket. And also, I know my best days on my diet where I'm like, I didn't eat as much or had very little carbs, are always my most productive and exciting days. I thought that was kind of funny. And that comes from doing things that are exciting. You know, if it's something that we have to do, it's kind of like, okay, I'll do that when I get XYZ or whatever. But if it's something we're excited about, it's like, oh, okay, let me just do this one thing. Okay, just this one thing. It's like a video game. Let me just do this one thing. Let me just do this. It's like you feel drawn to it, you feel pulled to it. And that's where learning about ourselves comes into play, because we have to find those things. You know, some of us don't just know what it is that we're drawn to or excited about, and it takes trial and error. You have to kind of go through, like, pick one thing that might interest you and play with it for, you know, a few weeks or a few months and give it a chance and see if you kind of get pulled into it. If that's not it, you know, learning something else or something else. And that's part of it, is, you know, getting there. And like for me, I had my step one was learning how to learning how to get rid of these blockages. I had some negative blockages that were stopping me, because the last year and a half I knew, like, okay, I've got to focus on myself. I got to focus on myself. But all these other things kept pulling at me, and it was because I was giving my power away. I was trying to control things outside of myself. You know, that's where that frustration and stress came from, because I was like, you know, trying to fix all of this stuff. And, you know, that was a self-growth journey, is I had to learn that, or remember that, you know, you can't do that. You can only focus on yourself. And it was so freeing and such a relief to feel like, you know, I don't have to do that. I just control what I allow into my environment, control what thoughts fill my head, control what, you know, where I allow myself or who I allow to be around me. So anyways, yeah, so we're doing it. Week 2, I'm excited, and I still have those thoughts where I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta like do this on my diet. And I have to remember, no, just fall in love with this process of who I'm trying to become, and go down the rabbit hole, keep pulling at the thread, and I'm constantly like readjusting my thoughts. So we're in the thick of it, you guys. I hope this is the year, because I started this channel back in 2015. Like, all right, let's do this. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Mwah.